Welcome, 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 my dear brothers and sisters, my beloved wife, Maheen. Truly an honor to be here with you, a privilege to be with those of you here in the room, those watching on DVD, and those listening on CD. Today's topic is psychology of guns and feelings of home security. The psychology of guns and feelings of home security. The reason I put the word feelings of home security is when you have guns in the home, you can feel more secure. Keeping in mind, very few people will ever need to use them. It's like an insurance policy. You take an insurance out for fire, theft, and so forth, and you hope you never need it. And in reality, most people never do. So the gun can give a feeling of security. Now, guns, people look at it and they think of death, killing. But I say to you, a gun is a celebration of life. Because when you think of death, then it brings you to the contemplation of what that is, and then when you contemplate it, you understand how sacred life is, how precious life is. Every human being understands the preciousness of life, the sacredness of life. We may lose track of it on a momentary basis, but what really brings it into mind, into consciousness, is death. Your own possible impending death, if you've had a close call, you realize how sacred and precious life is. Or someone else's death, realize this is precious and sacred. So a gun is a celebration of life. It's helped sustain life for the times when we've needed it for hunting, so that we could survive. Lives have been saved where one person's attacked another and needed to be stopped by a police officer, or in a military operation. Lives are saved. Now, when we go into the celebration of life aspect, this is a whole different orientation of it. It's not a symbol of death, it's a symbol of life. We're also going to discuss a very important concept that I've come up with called first ready response. So we're going to talk about what that means. But first I want to talk about who should not have a gun. Now, somebody who is a substance abuser, using drugs or alcohol, a gun in that person's hand is extremely dangerous. Now, this doesn't mean that person, if they're a felon, that they can't legally own a gun, but it doesn't mean the person who is a substance abuser won't have one. It's very dangerous, not only a danger towards others, but danger towards themselves. People who have suicidal impulses or homicidal impulses, they're at risk also. And certainly when a person is on alcohol or various substances, they're more inclined to carry out a homicidal or suicidal assault. So certainly if a person has suicidal impulses, homicidal impulses, it's dangerous to have a gun. A good many suicides are done with guns.